Obviously, my name is George Haehn. I'm mayor of the city of Buda. Today we're joined by Councilmember Urbanowski, who's also the mayor pro tem, and Councilmember Dosro, and Councilmember Ray Bryant. On the council, I'm blessed to have all these guys because they've got a lot of knowledge and experience when it comes to construction, contracts, and everything else. And obviously, we're dealing with a lot of construction, contracts, and everything else as we're moving forward with our growing pains. Also on the council are Ms. Remy Fallon and Mr. Evan Turry from District B, and Ms. Terry Cummins, who was just elected and sworn in last November. Councilmember Urbanowski was also elected as our mayor pro tem by the council. And Ms. Cummins took the place of Mr. Wiley Hopkins, which I had the great honor and pleasure of serving with. And he was elected in 2013, on the year after I joined the council, and did not seek re-election after 7 years of service to the people. So I'd like to, wherever he's at, enjoying his retirement, I hope Mr. Hopkins has fair winds and following seas, as the saying goes. City administration for the city is our city manager, Mr. Kenneth Williams, deputy city manager, Micah Grau, and a lady that joined our team, and we're thankful to have her, is Miss Lauren Middleton Pratt, and she is our assistant city manager. Micah Grau was promoted to deputy city manager in 2019, and Miss Middleton Pratt joined our organization in April of 2019 as the new assistant city manager for development. Buda statistics. These things are, we'll bore through these as quickly as possible. In 2010, the census population for the city was 7,295, about 7,300 people. But then if you look, we had 151% growth during the 2010 to 2018 period. And in 2019, if you read the signs at our city limit, we have a little over 18,000 people, 18,323 people at the latest count. And I'm hoping with this next census that we bump over to 20,000 for obvious reasons, for enticing employers and further commercial and retail development in the city. The median income for the city of Buda is a little over, well, almost 88,000, and that's a household income. And the median age is 38. So we've got a fairly affluent citizenry with fairly young age. Means that there's usually a lot of opportunities for leisure dollars to be spent. The city staff, there's 116 full-time employees and 6 part-time employees currently on our city staff. And then if you look at it, they're there to serve the people, and they're doing an outstanding job, slugging it out in the trenches every day, behind the scenes. Our site permitting numbers for 2019 is pretty impressive, and I'm hoping will continue to grow. We have 53 certificates of occupancy, 22 new commercial building permits were issued, and 25 commercial remodel building permits were issued. So there's a lot of construction going on in the private sector as well as in the public. And then on our new developments, there's a lot of great developments that are coming, and one of them being the repurposing of the old City Hall, and it's now the Inspired Minds Art Center. And they held their grand opening celebration in January. This is a place where people of all ages can find mentors in the arts, and local artists are provided with a venue to display and sell their work, lease studio space, and purchase supplies locally. As well as the art center, there's the theater. The Hill Country Theater is also part of this Inspired Minds Art Center, and the theater puts on shows and acting classes for both adults and children. We had Johnson High School open finally out there on 967. And the Mo and Jean Johnson High School is a beautiful building. I mean, it's really impressive. You go to it. The campus itself is amazing. But it took over 50 years for Buda to finally get a high school, and it's here. And its first graduating class is expected to graduate in 2022. The shops on Main Street, you've seen them as you pass by, probably noticed them. But so far, Shipley's Donuts has opened there, and Bahama Bucks is coming soon, probably in the spring. And ultimately, it will house a variety of shops and venues. The Emerson Apartments was permitted to begin construction in January, and it includes another additional 304 units to supply housing for the people of Buda. Buda Oaks Assisted Living and Memory Care. All of us at one point in time may need memory care, and it's nice to have it right here in Buda now. And it's a brand new facility right there on Cabela's Drive. These next developments are something I think that I really hope will begin to create this healthcare center in northern Hays County and attract professionals to our city. And the premier location right now is out there on Overpass Road, Baylor Scott and White. They just opened. It opened its doors in 2019. It's a full-service hospital, primary care, and an integrated multi-specialty clinic. The medical center will add another 150 jobs, and well-paying jobs, to our workforce. And I want to thank the EDC and all the work that they had to put into it to get this to come to fruition. The Ascension Seton Health Center, it opened its doors in 2019 as well. And it's an outpatient center, but it includes primary care, women's care, and specialty care as well. And then if you look at it, the infill development opportunities out there are amazing, especially when it comes to office and retail. There were 46 other businesses that opened their doors with certificates of occupancy in 2019. And I don't want to take your time to read them all out, but obviously if we've got 46 additional businesses opening, that's job opportunities for the people of Buda. And that's an opportunity to offer jobs to here, or people that work here or own businesses here. They don't have to commute to Austin to operate or to find employment. Residential permit volumes. I've always advocated for a variety of housing that would be offered for sale to the people, from 2-bedroom all the way to executive, so that you could buy a home, enjoy the pride of ownership, and stay in Buda throughout your entire life cycle. 2-bedroom starter homes all the way up to the executive, and then you get to be in a empty nester, and you can return to a 2-bedroom and never have to leave Buda to look for housing. But in order to achieve that, we also have to have a certain amount of apartments, and you can see it as we move through there, that in 2016 there were 354 single-family homes, 48 multifamily units were built. 2017 there were 162 single-family homes with no apartments being built. But then if you look at it in 2018, we start to see this increase in multifamily housing units from 169 single-family to over 250 multifamily. And then this year, in 2019, actually last year, 2019, we had 177 single-family home starts. Contraction of the economy, whatever reason there is. The bond projects, that's what everybody is always asking me about, and I'm hopefully being able to fill you in on it. Old Goldforth Road improvement is done. It's complete. And it offers right turn lanes, left turn lanes, and it improves the mobility of the people out there by the Tom Green Elementary, as well as improving the safety for the children going to the school from the subdivisions. Main Street 967. Main Street's open. Finally, everybody was screaming, oh my God. Main Street's open. TxDOT and Lone Star Site Works are completing the final touch notes on it. There's going to be, the planter boxes are going to be in place so that we can offer shade, because you're going to want a place to sit down in the shade in August when you're walking along shopping during the day on Main Street. But it was brought to us by funding assist from Campo. Campo was able to bring in some federal dollars. So out of the estimated $2.3 million project, approximately $1.4 million was funded through Campo. And then that allowed the city to use other funds or the savings from these to approve the moving of the PEC power lines to underground to improve the aesthetics of downtown, especially at the Main Street 967 intersection. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but Main Street's open for business, and traffic flow is great, but the general scope of this project was to improve the service at the intersection. There was long lines at that intersection, and it actually increases that intersection's capacity to move traffic through in a timely manner. It reconfigured the sidewalks, widened some. We kept our on-street parking and the relocation of the traffic signal lines so that you could actually get a line of sight on cross traffic. And then on the Main Street improvements between Cabela's and Railroad, that's a big sticker. It's slowing down. But, you know, that expected completion date is now September of this year. And that's only estimated because weather will dictate a lot of times with construction. But it's an ongoing project, and the project's been delayed also by conflict with sewer and water lines that when they went to dig, that's when they found them. You know, and it's kind of like it was a difference of 10 inches. But it had to be reconfigured and replanned, so it was the difference in the plans. So there's no way of know that there's 10 inches difference in the layout until you actually dig. So it's anticipated to be done late this summer and hopefully be open for traffic. But the general scope of that was to widen Main Street from Bradfield Drive to the railroad, to modify the signal at Bradfield, to improve the intersection at Bradfield and Main. A lot of people are calling me, why do we have a light there at Loop Street? You're stopping me, you're blocking traffic, you need to fix it. I'm like, all right, I'll call, see what we can do, but as right now, it's just a growing pain that we're going through. It will get better, but we'll get a sidewalk all along Main from Bradfield Village down to the city park so that people can actually walk, hike, and bike and enjoy the outdoor. I mean, we're the outdoor capital of Texas, and let's enjoy it. Bond projects, Proposition 4, drainage. Houston Street's done. The construction on Houston Street project is complete. Drainage is improved in that area. Oxbow Trails, done. The project included channel improvements and the culvert upgrades underneath the roads to improve the drainage in that area. Project Area 1A, that's the fire station in Bluff Street. It's currently working through land acquisition on the south side of 2770 with Syntex. And the project design is done. It's just once the acquisition is complete, then it'll be released for bid, and it'll take about 4 to 6 months to complete. And that's to improve channel flow through that area. Project Area 1B is the Wesco Fort. It's based on land acquisition again, and we're running into problems with Union Pacific. They don't want to play nice. And so it's a lot of frustration when it comes to that because we need their permission to be able to put a culvert underneath their right-of-way. Prop 5, our parks. A lot of interest in the parks, obviously. The Green Meadow splash pad is done. It offers splash pads out on the east side, and I want to thank Mike Beggs and Public Works for being able to do a lot of work out there. It saved us thousands of dollars. The city park improvements are under construction. Obviously, you can see it, but look at what we have been able to finish. The amphitheater is up. The trees are planted. Public Works Department has finished the parking area. The grass is in. The restrooms are done. And the splash pad is being completed. And hopefully it'll be completed by late June, mid-June. Again, everything is based on the weather. perhaps one of the most exciting parts of the park is the amphitheater. Councilmember Dodgerow is head of an ad hoc committee that I'll talk about in a minute, but they are looking at actively bringing in festivals. And with this amphitheater, we raised the roof design and the stage in order to make it where you could see it and where the production companies could actually install their lights and their audio systems. The City Council created that ad hoc committee to assist in naming and bringing in all of these festivals, and that's what we're hoping to do. Buda Sportsplex lights are done. We have lights on both the soccer field and the baseball fields. So, and that's again thanks to the EDC's contributions of $600,000. The project is expected to be completed on the pipeline that they're going to connect us on. It's 18,000 linear feet of pipe, and that's supposed to be done by the end of 2020. The water meter system replacement, that has been completed, and then if you look at it, go online, you can actually track your usage, and it'll give you leak reports and usage alerts. The Texas City Management Association elected our city manager as their president, and it consists of local government professionals dedicated to promoting the highest standards of governance, service, and leadership to the cities, especially cities like Buda. The GFOA, that's the Government Finance Officers Association, presented a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Finance Reporting. Thank you to the Finance Department and Mr. June Ellis. So you reach out to them, give them a handshake. City of Buda receives the unmodified or clean audit. We got a clean audit for our 2017-18 annual audit, and hats off again to Mr. June Ellis and the Finance Department. The Buda Urban Land Institute Award was issued to the municipal complex, and it was since the municipal complex was completed in 2018. It offers 55,000 square feet where you can find everything you need. City administration, multi-purpose space for the community to use. The Economic Development Corporation offices are in that building. The council chambers, as well as the Emergency Operations Center and the Buda Library. So thanks to all of you for the hard work and dedication and patience as we go through this. But I would like to raise a glass to Mr. Ray Cresswell. He was our project manager during the time we were constructing City Hall, and it came in on time and below budget. We got the TMIO award. It goes to the Public Information Office. That's it right there. Mr. Marino, it's the city's Public Information Office received the award of honor from the Texas Association of Municipal Information Officers for its video documentary of our new City Hall and municipal complex. Buda ranked the 15th safest city in the United States and 35th out of top 50. So hey, we're doing pretty good. Only thing is, there's a flip side to it. When people start seeing that in the Wall Street Journal, they start moving here. All right, so our infrastructure is going to get tested, and I'm hoping that we can keep up with the growth. People living in Buda also benefit from the low cost of living, comparable to other cities and regions of Texas. But the water supply system received our superior rating, and only 13% out of the 7,000 water supply systems in the state of Texas actually achieved that. So looking ahead, we've got the wastewater master plan coming up. That'll be completed soon in the spring. Upcoming events will be the police officers' motorcycle shootout, and that's the 11th through the 14th. The census event, and I can't stress this enough, billions of dollars been left on the table because of undercounting, and Buda gets hurt If we lose a third of our count, that's a third less money we're receiving through federal government and businesses. Businesses look at those numbers to determine if they want to relocate or even open a business in this area or this city. Buda Trash Off, let's keep Buda beautiful, but on the same day, on April 1st, you can go to the trash off in the morning, help out cleaning Buda, go home, eat lunch, get a shower, head to our Easter egg hunt out by the Sportsplex in the afternoon. With that being said, I've taken more time than allocated.